good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, everyone. This is Elma, and tonight I have the SignHouse founder, Daniel Ch. He has a very long last name. We were just talking about it before the live. It's very long, and I cannot even pronounce it. Okay, so we just stick with that ch. Yeah. Okay, so what is SignHouse? SignHouse is a Docusign alternative, and I'm sure you might must have heard about Docusign, and it's been around since the early 2000s, but it's pretty clunky when you use it, and it also costs a lot because I used to use DocuSign, and it's something that I'm sort of dreading to use. It's kind of messy, just put it that way. Now, I tried SignHouse from Daniel, and I find that it's much easier to use it. It's more user friendly, and it's more modern in a way. And so we will ask Daniel later on, or Daniel will show us exactly how SignHouse works. Okay, and before we start, let me see. We have HM Shuja, Joginder, and Ankit that said hi to me. So hi back. So yes, let's introduce Daniel. So Daniel, can you tell us more about SignHouse? Why did you start it, and how do you call this? And what is your vision?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming in today. I want to thank you, Oma, for having us. We highly appreciate it. I'm Daniel. Thanks for spending time with us. Yeah, that's a good question. We've started Sign House because we've needed it. We were in need of signing a couple of important documents, and because of our burning need, we just went ahead and signed with whatever software was given to us at that point, which was DocuSign. But as soon as we've had our work done, our document signed, we were just looking around to see what else we could find that we could adopt for the long term. And we've pretty much tried most, if not all, of the major solutions out there that are made for e-signing documents and everything like that. And we were just to put it, well, I don't have a nice way to put it, but we were just disappointed. We noticed it. We could just tell that this was software made not even for the last decade. It was software made for 2 decades ago that was just adapted into looking like something modern, but under the hood, it just looked like it wasn't really made for 2023. And obviously not every piece of software has to just be from the last year for it to be good, but this was just too clunky, too slow. And I'm not even talking about the luxury of speed here. I'm just talking about user experience. And really the clicking point for us was we were going to start sending more documents to be signed. So we were just thinking at one point, what if somebody just is about to sign something that we've sent, but they're 50-50, they're on the fence, or maybe they'll just postpone it for later. And then because something doesn't work, because something fails, or because it's too complicated, they just say, yeah, I'll get back to it later. They forget, they never get back to it. And we've lost, when something is being signed, we're probably talking about some important business there. So that was really the moment when we said, well, initially, to be honest, we didn't start out with a plan of building a business. We started a side product, which was the early versions of SignHouse, and that slowly, because of the market pool that we've had, because of the love that we've seen from the beta users we've had, we've decided to turn into a company, and that just gets us to today. So that's the origin story of SignHouse. To put it shortly, just a side product that we've made because we've needed it, because we've seen for ourselves why there's a need for a modern solution when it comes to e-signing documents. And bit by bit, our users just point us in the right direction. We've followed them, we've listened to them, and we've built together with them. And this is where we are at today.
Wow, that's very interesting that it's sort of a side hustle or something like that. Like a byproduct of addressing your current pain point. That's right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you guys do you okay, are if any of our viewers are active on Reddit, Daniel actually is the admin of the subreddit r/SaaS. I'm not very active on Reddit, so did I say it right? r slash
Yeah,
SaaS. Yes,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
around
absolutely.
50,000 members. And do join that subreddit. Okay, so let's see. Let me
We're
see.
actually at 52,900. So maybe with the help of the lovely people from today on the live stream, maybe we'll cross 53,000 people. We
Cool.
do have a couple of companies coming there with lifetime deals as well. Maybe it's not a community built around lifetime deals, but people are coming, just to get feedback, chat, have their founders reach out. So yeah, we're welcoming anyone who wants to join us.
Okay, so now let's discuss use cases. So you said you have beta users and you use it for your company. And what are the typical use cases for SignHouse?
Well, initially, the users that we've had were just uh, powerful professionals, as we like to call them. So maybe they're solopreneurs, maybe they're the owners of a small but mighty company. When I say small but mighty, I'm referring to people that are having small teams, but they're very efficient. So they might have, for instance, five people, but all of them need signing rights. So it's not the type of company where there are, I don't know how many thousands of people, and it's only still five people that need those specific signing rights or maybe admin rights. So this I'm talking about this because that's one of the main reasons why we've built SignHouse around collaboration. So if anyone ever used Canva, which I'm sure people have done, or Notion, those are tools made around collaboration from the get-go. They weren't made for one specific user and then they were adapted into, okay, let's allow this and that. So from the get-go, from the foundation, we've taken that into account. And yeah, main use cases. We've seen a lot of agencies coming into SignHouse lately. This is an example of small but mighty companies. We've seen a lot of people from real estate or any kind of creatives. Some people might just be running a solely online business. Some of them are digital creators, but others are designers, freelancers of any sorts. So it's pretty much this. If anyone, if there's anyone that has a small team that is focused on efficiency, that where everyone kind of deserves their seat, I think this is one of the most common use cases we've seen. I can also mention a bit of a few people from the services industry, from the medical industry, but yeah, main use cases is what I've mentioned earlier. So this is what we've seen lately.
Okay, that sounds good. And by the way, I actually do agree with you on this. Like, the company size actually is not necessarily the a representative of how successful is a company, because there are lean businesses like my company. We are less than 10 employee, actually five, around 5 employees, but we do generate income. So it's not necessary. It's really all about efficiency, about your efficient use of tools, and that's actually in some way how SignHouse helps. So can you do a demo on SignHouse?
Sure, absolutely. I'll
Okay.
just could I double check with you that I'm sharing my screen correctly? Can you see
Yes,
the
it is now.
All right. So one thing I didn't discuss when we were chatting about Signhouse was part of our mission. And this is just one aspect of it was because Docusign and most of the other solutions we've seen out there look and feel like software that was made for the last few decades. What we want to do with Signhouse is build. We feel like when it comes to digital signatures, to e-signatures, people deserve a solution they can love. So we've seen that in the last few years. We've seen that with Notion. I've mentioned Canva earlier. We've seen, for instance, developers loving Linear App. So those are just a couple of examples where the focus on product was so targeted that people just loved it, and you can tell that at every single corner of the app somebody was thinking, okay, this is what they're gonna need, this is how they're gonna interact. So a focus on UX. This is pretty much what I'm trying to say here. uh, my intention with Sandhouse is to keep on doing that and keep on doing that, and we can see this from the get-go right here in the home screen. This is what it looks like. For anyone who's been in tech for a long time, it's inspired by, if anyone has ever read Steve Jobs' biography, there's a certain part where they talk about iDVD. So they were trying to make it complicated and convoluted. This was a software that was used to burn data onto a DVD, and all what they went with eventually was just a big screen where it said drag and drop a file here, and let's get going, or something like that. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to drag and drop. You can't see it, but I've just dragged and dropped a file. I have an NDA right here, and this is the, well, it's not the home screen of SignHouse, but this is one of the main screens of SignHouse. So much like any e-signature tool, we have a couple of blocks on the left-hand side. And what we do is we display the document right here, and we're going to just uh, place field on top of it. So before that, though, I will just add, let's see, I'll sign an NDA with you, Elma, if you don't mind. I hope you won't be
Okay.
spoiling any sensitive data we're sharing here today, even though this is live. So I've added you here, and I'm just going to create a signature block for you here. So in case anyone hasn't seen, I'm dragging and
Okay.
dropping. I've added that there, but I'll just remove it now. And let's see, maybe because I have my name here, I'll drag and drop a text field, but I want to be I want to be saving you time, so I'll pre-fill this for you. I'll say Elma Pena. I'm closing that, and maybe a date field as well. So once I send this, which we'll do in a second, you will have this to fill. But because I'm signing this myself, so I have pre-filled just from the PDF over here some data, but I'll drag and drop my signature field. And I do have my signature, so this is yet another example where, because we already have that, the product is helping me save those couple of vital seconds. But I want to take a second to just show that we have a signature creator here. And this works best, especially on a tablet or a mobile device, because you can just obviously use your finger to do that. I'm using my trackpad here, so I'm not very happy with it. I will just go and type, and let's just say Daniel C. I'll be using a different signature. I'll make it red and save the signature. Right now it's being stored, so I have it saved into my account. Uh, Before I send this, we obviously have some other fields as well, and we've got more fields in the making, which is part of obviously the lifetime deal. People will keep on having access to these new features that we're going to release. So, for instance, I can drop a checkbox that I can fill in or remove. We have a line field for crossing out data, but I won't be boring you with all the details. What I wanted to take a second to explain is the fact that all our e-signatures are legally binding, but and they're legal in all major countries. They're compliant with all the laws. So we've taken a long time to make sure we're compliant with not only e-signature laws, but also, by the way, privacy laws. But I'll get back to that in a second. So I have the document here. I'll be looking in the upper right corner to say review and finish. We just have a quick recap, and maybe I just want to CC somebody. I'll CC myself, but if I want to CC somebody, they're pretty much involved in the signing, in the status of the document, but they're not involved in the signing. So they will get updates about what happens, but yeah, they're not specifically a signee. So in the quick recap, I see who's involved. I see now somebody. I can see obviously it's from myself, and I'll just add a. Let me see. I'll add a custom text that will appear in the email. Let me just do a happy. I'll just add a smiley cat because today I feel like using this emoji. So this is part of it. And once I'm done, I'll click send this document, and that's it. That's all it took for me to send the document with SignHouse. Um,
And I should
it's
receive that soon, right?
Yeah, so we're using top of the market email postmark for anybody who is curious. We're using top of the market emailing solutions, so that it will get into your inbox as quick as possible, so almost instantly. But now that this is sent, I've already signed it, obviously, because as you've seen, I've placed my signature, and now I can see the situation of all my documents. So you can see I have some of them that are signed, some of them are drafts. For some of them, I'm awaiting signatures, but between you and I is because I was testing them. And I wanted to take a second to get back to what I mentioned earlier, which was the legality aspect. So for every single document
By the
over
way, I already
here,
received it, but continue with the legality aspect. Just to let you know, I
okay,
already received your email.
that's great. That's great. So Postmark is doing a good job. We're lucky to be working with them, I guess. So on a per document basis, we have not only an audit trail, which is what we need for the legality, but we have a section where we explain specifically what we're compliant with, but also what we're doing, the very reasons why every document and every signature on every document is legal. We've taken a couple of weeks to do this, to show it in the best way that we can. We've done that simply because one of the main questions we get, and we will keep on getting, and people are very much entitled to ask that, because it shows that they're very careful. So the people that are using SignHouse are super attentive to the details. They're asking whether our signatures are legal, and whether they're legal in their country. And some people are even asking, well, why are you legal? So besides the explanations we have on our website, we also show this now on every document. We show every step that it is documented in order for this to become legal. And obviously we have an audit trail as well, which can be downloaded as a PDF. I'm just sharing this now. And so right here you can see who was involved, the data that we store, the IP address of the people involved. And this can obviously go on multiple pages if needed, if the if the audit trail is long enough. But right now we've just started, so it isn't super long, because it was only my actions that were documented. Elma hasn't yet signed. But I just want to take this quick second to show you this in SignHouse. Um, Emma, could I take a second to ask you, how are we doing with time?
Oh,
Because
I didn't
obviously,
sign it yet because I want to show them how easy it is to sign.
all right, I can show that
Okay, so
as well in a
I'll
in a
share my
demo.
screen.
Okay,
Mhm. Okay, so
cool.
I'll just hide your screen for now and I will show them my screen. Yep. Okay, so you can see here a lot of emails, and here is the email that I got from Daniel, and it leads me to this one. When I click on the link, then it gives me this, and all I have to do is click start, finish and submit, I guess. Oh, okay, next,
No, no, next.
and then
Yeah,
it will tell me what to do here. So say I can type, draw, or upload. I believe the upload is I can use either JPEG or PNG. But here
yeah,
I'm just going to do this way and say save this signature, insert everywhere.
yeah. There's only one place here, but we have that feature for people that might be maybe having one signature on every single page, and maybe there's 80 pages. So that's just one more step we're doing for
Right.
convenience. All right, let's see.
Okay. So this is done and I just click finish and submit. Agree and submit. Now I'll show your screen.
Oh, it looks like we had a small error there, but it's
Oh,
usual to be.
was there there? Okay, let's try again.
It's Murphy's Law, I guess. When something has to be shown on a live feed, there must be a problem happening there somewhere.
Yep, that's true. Okay, let's see this again.
I think it has to do with the pre-fill. Could you go in the text field there and, yeah, just type that by yourself?
Um, I couldn't make changes.
All right, so this is something we just shipped today. Maybe this is why this is happening.
Okay, so
But
there is a bug.
we'll
You can fix it later.
yeah,
So by the way, I also want to okay, to point out that I did not have to sign up to SignHouse. So I did not have to open an account or create an account on SignHouse to sign this document. So I'm just using these as basically I clicked on the link from Daniel's email, and then that's it. I did not have to create an account on SignHouse.
yeah, one question we've had from people was, which is important to be addressed in terms of privacy as well, I suppose, and respecting our users' data, is some multiple people, more than I would have expected actually, were concerned as to whether we start marketing towards the users of our users, so the signees. And the short answer to that is no, we don't market, we don't add them to any email list, because they're not really our users. We've heard of other companies doing that, other companies in our industry, but ultimately, well, I can't speak for them, but I think that doing something like that is treading on thin ice, because that ultimately means people are marketing towards users that are not really their users. But yeah, just wanted to address that. So this is another reason why we've made this free and as simple as possible for our signees.
Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, so now do we start answering some questions?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, let's start with this. Hey, SignHouse, I have bought with a lot of expectations. Don't let us down, man. Who
Mhm.
is that?
We don't know who that is, but I just wanted to say thank
Right.
you for buying SunHouse in the first place. We know that your trust is with us, and we wanna we we're trying to make ourselves as accountable as possible by being as active as we can in here on our roadmap. I'm just sharing the screen now of our roadmap, which we have right
Oh, wait a
here.
moment. Let's see.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so this is how our roadmap looks like here. We're constantly talking to people, or maybe when we have a specific feature, we're trying to publish updates that this is now live. We're trying to make ourselves accountable. And for instance, we've had some conversations where because of a specific feature request, we've had even with screenshots, we're trying to document every single step that we can because of some specific features that we've had requested. We've even uh, had other ideas that people were requesting or were needing. So uh, I'm just mentioning this because anyone is invited, obviously, to contribute to our roadmap or give us further suggestions there. Maybe even something that is shipped. So we keep comments open even if a feature has been shipped because we want to keep the conversation open. We want to keep our ear close to our customers' feedback and suggestions and everything. So I wanted to take a second to note that down. Yeah.
Okay, done. So, okay, that message is from Ankid Jait Lee. I hope I pronounced your last name correctly. Okay, next is this is from Fernando. I still have to put Sign House to use for my real estate business, but we are getting ready to use it soon. So, thanks, Fernando. Next, we
Thank you
have
very much.
here wish to see LTD return with the offer as well. Once the roadmap starts converting into reality, we'll stack more. Wish to see LTD return. We you currently have an offer, right, on your an LTD offer directly from you. In fact, it's not available on any marketplace.
Correct. I think what they're saying is they will want us to keep on offering the lifetime deal even when we have more and more features of the roadmap,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good suggestion. We might be doing that. So obviously, when we have bigger rounds of improvements, we will have price increases, which is worth noting. But we're taking into account offering a future lifetime deal when we are at a different stage with SignHouse. I can't guarantee it because I don't know what the future will hold in terms of when we'll be offering new campaigns. But I've noted that down as a suggestion, so thank you for that. And if you said we'll stack more, that means you already gotten some, so thank you as well for that.
Okay, so the next question here it's not a question, but Alberto is saying it's epic. Side house. Okay, thank you. And this is from Joginder. Can we use our digital signature?
Yeah, the short answer is yes. Your digital signature, I'm assuming, means you already have a picture of a signature. So much like Elma was showing earlier, you can upload a JPEG or a PNG. Most of the time, people go for a PNG because it has a transparent background, so it works better with documents. But absolutely, you can come with your signature, with your digital signature, and as I said, all our signatures are 100% legal. So we'll be storing all the data, saving all the metadata and everything in order to make it legally binding. So we would be taking a picture of the signature to the next level. But yeah, short answer is yes.
Okay. Indian companies need to use digital signature by registering it with few authorized providers. If we can find a way to use it easily, that will help. So I'm not sure about this authorization that is required.
Um, there are lists, and in India as well, in the EU. and etc. There are lists of providers that are on a list of recommendations, and we'll be doing our best to get ourselves in there. Now, at the same time, we're a young company, so to give you a bit more background on the more context and background, what I've said earlier. So when we started the side product, long story short, we've built SignHouse for the last almost 10 months now. And we've only soft launched a couple of weeks ago. No, almost a month. I think it's exactly 1 month. So, right about this time in May. So, we've been building for the last 9 months and released for 1 month. With time, I'm sure we'll be getting onto those lists, on the list of recommended providers. But given that we're early on, which is one of the reasons why we're offering a lifetime deal campaign, given that we're early on, we still have long way to go. So this is part of the deal, I guess, of the agreement as part of the lifetime deal. Our early supporters get a one-off fee for a lifetime account, and they don't have to get the recurring subscription, so they don't have to go for the monthly pain of seeing $99 a month every single month. For that's just what we charge for 5 users. For more users, we'll charge even more. But yeah, this is something that's definitely on our list. It's on our roadmap. We want to get onto those lists, and we're pretty sure we'll be doing that in the next couple of years. So yeah.
All right. Good. Next is okay, because we did not really see the demo of this, because I wasn't able to complete the document, right? So, is there any confirmation of signing completion through email?
Yeah, absolutely. So once everyone has signed, give me just a second. So I'm sharing this tab right here. This is what the can. Yeah, okay, sure. Everyone is getting an email like this, which is a confirmation that the document was signed. People can see the document. And I also didn't get a chance to talk about what I can show you very quickly right here. So in the signing process, when I was adding Elma as a signee, I've also got this button right here for a custom signing order. If people enable that and we have multiple signees, we can have a specific order in which everything is being signed. So, for instance, signee number 3 won't get the document until signee number 2 and also signee number 1 have signed in there. But if I switch it up, obviously I've added the numbers myself, but you can always, you can always, when you create a document, you can always move the order around. So we have either this confirmation email that we show right here, or a different type of email, which is also a confirmation if there are multiple signees in a custom signing order. But yeah, we are showing a confirmation to everyone who's involved.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, and that's very important, the signing order. And okay, so they all signed the document, but so all the signees will be visible to each other too, right?
Not exactly. It depends. It depends on what type of document is being prepared, but that can be chosen.
Okay. Um, let's see. So, do I need to add signee as user in my account?
Not really. So you can any user. When I say a user, I'm thinking of a SignHouse user. So just to be on the same page, and a user is a person who prepares a document and is signing it. Now, a signee, you can have as many. You can have unlimited signees, so they don't have to create an account. Now, they're invited to create an account if they want to, in order to access their document in the future, but they're not obliged to. So we've made a conscious choice to allow people the freedom to decide whether they want or not. Other companies do that. They kind of force you to create an account in order to do something, but it's all free. Short answer is no. You don't have to add a signee as a user into your account. The people you want to add into your account and in your workspace are the people that have the administrative rights of preparing and sending documents. So, a signee, I'm guessing, is not somebody you want to allowed to prepare documents. But if it's a teammate, so a user you can add into your account could be possibly a teammate, a collaborator, an assistant, a manager, or anyone who is representing the same company as you or the same group of people, I guess.
Okay, that's clear. Thank you. So good to know that you won't market to our users. That also means you don't keep your own pixels on signing pages.
Correct. We don't keep any pixels on the signing pages. We have to, however, I have to be transparent and say we do store some data, but that's only the data we need to store in order to make the e-signature legal. So, for instance, I mean, we are definitely saving the IP of the user. It's not really our choice, and we don't have a preference because we have to do it in order to be compliant with the e-signature laws. But yeah, other than that, we don't store any Facebook pixel or anything like that on the signing pages. Correct.
Okay. Okay. Now this is an interesting question. Why you didn't come for on AppSumo for a wider reach?
Yeah, that's a great question. We've actually had AppSumo reach out to us before we've even released. So we've had some presentation pages. As I said, we've built SignHouse for 9 months without making any buzz or any major noise. We didn't have any launch event for 9 months or something like that. We've just had a soft launch, and somehow AppSumo reached out to us. They found us and they reached out to us, inviting us to join. It wasn't just an invitation to the marketplace. It was an invitation to the big program where they take care of marketing and everything, which I suppose is some sort of a compliment because the way the product was presented made it look like a good fit, even though it was primitive. So because what we were showing at that point, which was a couple of months ago, was just the basic functions of the sign house. So we have been invited. We're definitely not joining the program because we are running this lifetime deal campaign on our own. I don't know what the future will hold. As I said, maybe a couple of years down the line, we might be joining on the marketplace, but not on the big AppSumo program. But at the moment, we don't have any specific intention to join them, even though they've invited us, which was very nice of them. But if anyone is wondering why we haven't done that, it's simply because we wanted to run our own lifetime deal and see get closer to our users and maybe run a couple of tests of rounds of revisions and everything. We just don't have any specific attraction at the moment or any reason I guess to go with AppSumo, given that we what I'm trying to say is that we're trying to take it slowly. So instead of having a a bucket load of people coming into Sign House, I would very much rather do rounds of iterations and one-on-one conversations with users, which we have been doing and we have the luxury of doing, instead of getting tens of, maybe not tens of, but maybe thousands of users overnight, and maybe rushing customer support or not getting back to people. Because I myself, I'm a lifetime deal buyer. I've been buying for at least 4 years, and I do understand. I have understood in the past that maybe an AppSumo campaign made a product go viral, and maybe a specific set of founders haven't gotten back to me. I did have the understanding, but it still wasn't a nice experience to send the customer support message and not hear back. So yeah, that's the long story of why we're not going to have Suma at the moment.
Well, fair enough. Yeah, you have your reset, so that's good. Okay, so from listener, he said, I have no doubt SignHouse will be an essential tool in everyone's toolkit, correct? And let's see. What do you think about integrating with Pably? What is the timeline for more and templates?
Yeah. When it comes to Pably, I'm a Pably Connect user. I'm assuming they're referring to Pably Connect and
That's
not
correct. Yes.
specifically, okay, not any of the other five tools that they're offering. So I'm a Pably user, not a Zapier user. I have been a user of Zapier up until I found Pably. A Pablo integration is in the works. Before that, we want to open up access to webhooks. And so a Pablo integration, if I had to put a number to it, is probably a couple of months away. I can definitely tell people that there's going to be a price increase by the time we have the Pablo, or when we'll be going out with the Pablo integration, because of how much more powerful SignHouse gets now that it gets connected to, I suppose, more than 5,000 um, products and integrations. When it comes to templates, what I can show you is give a quick preview. This is what I have. This is just for myself.
Okay,
This is
I need to show your screen again.
Oh, sorry about that. I thought it
No
was kept
worries.
on being shared. So this is a quick preview of. I mean, obviously it looks the same, but this is what we have. What I use myself for products, so I can give you a behind the scenes. We'll be having a templates feature where people can prepare documents in advance. So the most common use case is if you have the same document that you keep sending over and over again. Maybe you're a freelancer and you send a contract to clients. Maybe you sign NDAs very often. Maybe you're a venture capitalist or an investor, or you're looking to sell your startup. And because of the acquisition process, you have to keep on signing NDAs. What you would do is you would upload the file and you would set up a template, not a document, because you're not sending it to anyone. You're preparing in advance the documents that you have. So the specific experience will look exactly the same, just like what I've been going through earlier on. You're uploading a document, but instead of adding somebody's name, you would just add, instead of adding their specific name, you would add the name of the type of signee they represent. So you just say client when they have client there, and you say that as a template, it will appear right here. And if I click use template, I'm duplicating the what is in the background, the draft, so a document prepared in advance of the file I've uploaded, and then I just have to pop in the client's name because on today's date, on the 15th of June, I'm signing a document with Elma. But maybe in a couple of weeks, I'm signing the exact same document with another client, and I'll be using the same button again, use template, and then I'll pop in their data. And I've just saved myself the time it took to move all the blocks around because this is a document I keep on sending. Now, at the same time, another feature we're going to have in line with the template is going to be this small but very powerful button right here, which allows you to get a URL to the template. So what happens with that, if you just bear with me for a second, hopefully I can find it in due time, is um, you can share a link from SignHouse, which allows you to, which sends the, which you can send to your signees, which when open up will show the template, but not before showing this specific pop-up. So before the document is visible, in this case I have, let's say, a template for a contractor and a client. So before the document is visible, the person opening the link will have to fill in these four fields because I've in the background in the template I've set up a field for somebody's name and somebody's email. Now once those four are filled and I click let's continue, a new document will be created in the in here in this tab, sent for signing. So now with just a simple URL to a template, somebody's creating the document, and obviously that somebody can be you if you would rather not come to SignHouse but just open up a link. Or what we expect people will be using is if they have one signee, they send the link when they in the email, let's say, or on WhatsApp or on Facebook Messenger or whatever chatting system they use. They send the link to the signee, and the signee now fills in their data without you having to prepare any kind of document. You've just prepared the document once in the first place in the templates area. And yeah, I just want to take a second to explain what the person asking was referring to when it came to templates, because some people know the templates feature because of other e-signature tools, but some other people are not familiar. So yeah, I just took a second to explain the templates feature.
Okay.
Yeah,
And is there multi-language support, like Signee see message in the native language?
right. So what we do is we have that on our roadmap, which is a bit of a boring answer because everything can just be added to a roadmap. But what I can show you that we have in the works, because it's much easier to do, so it's faster to build, is the following thing. So in give me just a second so I can share the relevant page. In here, I have, this is what we see on the signature page. So this is what signees see. What we'll be doing is we'll add multi-language support just for the signees page because this allows us to ship this way faster. So short answer is we do have multi-language in the works. If we're talking about multi-language of the app of SignHouse, that's much further away. But because we've had this so highly requested, we've realized we can just make the signee page multi-language, which for more than half of the people does the job. if you're looking to to use SignHouse in a different language, I suppose if you listen to this, you understand the English because obviously we have been using English for the last 40 minutes. But what we're doing is we're going live in I suspect less than a month with this feature right here, where your signees can choose between a couple of languages, and we also have Hebrew or Arabic, which is not specifically in this mockup, but we are in touch with translators. So in less than a month, I'm expecting this to be live, multi-language support, multi-language with the notes I've added just for the signees page.
Okay, but I'm sure you will put a disclaimer that in case of any discrepancy on the translation, it's the English version that prevails. Is that right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And
Yeah.
ultimately, when it comes to the document has to be uploaded in that language. So I'm guessing that when a signee is switching to French, let's say the document is in French. Maybe they speak multiple languages, but obviously what we can do is show just our app and our buttons and the the application in that different language, but we do not translate the document because that can have legal implications. So we're not getting into that. But yeah, just the app is in a different language.
Right, because I see it a lot because I live in a multi-language country, and that's very important that we say, hey, if there are any discrepancies between the translations, it's whatever is the main language that has to be followed.
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
next.
Cool. Thank you for that.
All right. Maybe you can send buyers some lifetime deal agreement signed by you. It will set a new industry standard practice in SaaS.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we need to put
So
up a
yeah, that's
lifetime
from
deal.
Anuj. Yeah, thanks for the
Yeah,
idea. Okay, so this is an interesting question. Hi Daniel, do you own the sign house with other brand name as Spot Draft? Both UI and working are same.
I don't know spot draft. um I don't have a comment on that one. I'm on their website now, and i I personally don't believe we have on the first time I see this. I don't believe we have the same UI. Now we do have other apps because we do have other companies which do have similar UIs, and obviously I'm reusing elements because I'm the person who designed the product and the websites of these companies. Spotdraft is not one of them. If there are any screenshots you'd like to share, I suppose, feel free to DM me. I'm curious now, but no, we don't have a this we don't have any affiliation with them, and it's worth mentioning that SignHouse is as well 100% made by us. So I know that in the lifetime deal community, sometimes people are concerned that maybe a specific app is just a white labeling version of something else. SignHouse is 100% made by us and is not white labeled from any other product. And if something like this would exist, it wouldn't be legally binding because the company offering the service wouldn't have access to the data required to make the signature legally binding. But yeah, bottom line, no affiliation to Spot Draft. First time I'm hearing about them. I'll be looking into them because this makes me curious. But yeah.
And thanks for letting us know, Hema, about Spot Draft. So yeah, we can have a look at it. Okay, speaking of white labeling, this came in. Is there a white label option?
Yeah, speaking of white labeling, so it depends what people are thinking of when we say white labeling. I can say from the get-go, in order to be honest and prevent any disappointment, that we're not looking to ever offer SignHouse in a white labeling manner where people can reuse our signing uh, engine to create a different app. However, sometimes people say, and this is one of the main questions we've had, people are looking to see if they can white label SignHouse in the sense that they can edit their name when a certain document is being signed, sorry, when a certain email is being signed, so that their name and email address comes up there. We don't have that at the moment. We're still considering it because we would have to do some, I believe, email validation. We would have to confirm with somebody that they have access to that email, or maybe we don't offer a white label option so that they can add any email, but they can use the email they've used and confirmed with their account. But if the person asking this is referring to that, to white labeling identity in order to offer more trust and to, add a recognizable name to their signees inbox when they receive that email, we're considering it, and we've had multiple talks, and we've even started a bit of work on that. We have yet to release it, but we're still considering it. Feel free to DM me. I'm keeping my Twitter DMs open and Facebook DMs as well. So I'm curious to know, if you don't mind. I'm asking the person asking this question because I don't see any name. If they can message me privately and tell me more about their use case, I'll be happy to have a chat with them and tell them what we can do
Okay.
and what we cannot do.
I think that is Kevin. Let me just check. Um, yes, it's Kevin, and Kit Jidley is also asking the same question about the white labeling. So yeah, please be more specific about the white labeling question. And by the way, because I've just before the live, you sent me new pricing structure for SignHouse,
Yeah.
or not pricing structure, but new plans available,
Hmm.
right?
That's correct.
Can you
Yeah.
show that to us, please?
Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
Should be here. Yeah, so we've added multiple plans where, because we've seen people, so up until recently, we've only had a plan for one user, one paid user, and 5 users. But we've seen people buy multiple 5 user plans, and sometimes they would just need 10, some other times they will need 20 or more. So we've stacked them up and offered an even better value when it comes to buying these bigger plans. They currently look like this. You can access it on our website, but feel free to use Elma's link. But yeah, currently they look like this. So there's even more options with more value packed at a bigger price per value ratio.
Okay, so I've seen this pro, and you put in there it unlimited users.
Yeah,
Unlimited
this is,
users? Is that right?
yeah, yeah, correct.
Okay. Okay then. So now it's 1, 5, 10, 25, and unlimited users. In
Yeah.
terms of space, it's 10, 50, 50, 100, 100 GB.
Yeah, we're also
I'm
offering
just looking.
the option of people, if they reach that limit, we'll be offering people the option of buying more space at a reasonable rate. It's just what we're including right now, which we think is enough for these specific brackets of numbers of users. But I just want to tell people that they're not limited to 10, 50, 100 or nothing. At one point, they can just buy more storage space at a reasonable rate if they need it. I don't suspect everybody will need that, but just worth mentioning that.
Got it. And next question is how we can explain our lawyer judge that the contract agreement is indeed signed except for showing the docs in sign house.
Yeah, sure. So obviously there's the PDF, which you've mentioned, but we also have the audit trail right here. The audit trail is saved in the dashboard, but sometimes you might need it saved in offline mode. So you can click this button right here, and right here I have the audit trail where every single action of the document is being not only stored but also displayed. So I have the document creation, the time and time zone and moment and IP and name and identifiable details of what every person has done at a different point. And this is a short audit trail because this was a quick document, but the more people are involved, the more, like, every single step is being saved in the audit trail. As I said, this is being stored in the dashboard, but it can also be downloaded. Oh, I'm sorry. I just wasn't showing the auditor because it's open in a new tab. So, but I guess it was showing the same thing. Over here, I was showing the certificate, the auditor certificate, which is a downloadable PDF. I'm just saving it. I can save it right here for myself. I won't be doing that now, but it can be accessed and shared at any given point. Um, Other than that, as I said before, we do have an explanation and a listing of every single e-signature law that we're compliant with, also privacy laws right here, and also the reasons why each e-signature is respecting these laws. So in an event of a court of law what did you say? In the event of a lawyer or a judge analyzing this, you feel free to use either the data in our dashboard, which we try to uh, uh, put out there as clearly as possible, or feel free to download the PDF certificate, and that can just be stored for your use case or for any lawyer or judge looking into the details. I hope that answers the question, Asif, but if not, feel free to follow up.
Yes, there is a follow up already. So, is there any possibility that contract or the agreement become invalid as legal guys do not accept such signatures at local or state level?
If the laws change, so we are in touch with all the updates from this world. When we started the company, we've taken that commitment to be in touch with every single law that changes. At the same time, I can tell you that laws aren't changing that often in this realm. That's not to say we're not keeping track. We do, but I can give you, for instance, an example that first when the UK has left the EU, when Brexit happened, the UK basically cut ties with the EU law. So they've pretty much created UK EIDAS, which is their version of the e-signature law that's governing the EU. Now, I won't bore you with the legal aspects, but long story short, it's pretty much about, not exactly the same, but about the same law. So I suppose that's when the conversation about an e-signature becoming invalid is could be happening if a law is changing. At the same time, in the screen I was showing earlier, for instance, we do have um, am I sharing the correct screen? Yeah. We do have, for instance, Illinois, the state of Illinois in the US is having a different law. It's, yeah, from the main law governing the US. So we are trying to be compliant, aiming to be compliant in as many localities as possible. So we are listing those here. And yeah, I hope my initial answer answered your question because you were asking if there's any possibilities that they become invalid. They do if the law changes. But as I said, we're keeping track of how the laws changed.
And okay, so if the law change, are you going to update the?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely. It's our duty to do that because, as I said, we're using SignHouse ourselves for our documents. So besides our users, we want to be we want to be legal. We want to be in touch and up to date with the laws in order to keep our e-signatures up to date and yeah, keep the legal binding aspect of it. Most of the times, however, when these laws, when a law like this changes, there's an announcement and there's a period of time, much like GDPR, because probably people in this chat have been witnessing GDPR coming. So GDPR was announced, and there was a period of time for which people can get up to date with it. And by the time it was enforced, you would already have had a few months to get up to date with GDPR. So usually when it comes to laws like this, they don't just get applied overnight and then boom. Now for the next X hours, the signatures aren't available. It's not really like that.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. It will take months before, like, they're gonna give us a warning, and they are going to give us uh the time to comply with the new law. Okay,
Yeah,
so regarding the white labeling, so I think this is Kevin. He said white label in the sense that when we send a document, they see my company name that that they are expecting, and not white labeling for reselling, looking for customer signing experience without your branding, RC name, and custom SMTP details.
that's great. So it means I answered the question correctly earlier.
Yes.
One quick mention: I didn't mean white labeling for reselling, so I'm just mentioning this so that I don't. I don't get myself wrong. I know people are not really looking to that, but we've had, for instance, companies, big companies, so a names that people might be recognizing from Fortune 500 that asked us if we're ever looking to, because they were so pleased with our product, they wanted to know if we're ever able to white label the signing process that they can integrate it within their app. If anyone is curious about this, we will eventually release our e-signature API, because there are a couple of solutions on the market, but there's no solution that everybody loves. But that will come in later on, and that's, I suppose, outside the scope of this, of the lifetime deal campaign. So I won't bore you with the details, but I just want to make that mention to make sure I'm not getting myself misunderstood, or I'm not being precise enough in my speech. So yeah.
Okay, still with the white labeling, and this is from us, Sif. I don't think white labeling is that important in this product. In fact, non-white labeling it is more important in this product.
That's a good point. I
Mhm.
suppose when people are checking out SignHouse, uh, and when they haven't heard about us, and let's be honest, most people haven't heard about us because we've just launched. I suppose when people are checking out White House, they can see that we're making efforts to be compliant and to look, obviously, to offer the sense of security and to earn their trust. So I suppose Asif is referring to that when he mentions that non-white labeling is more important. If we But however, if we are to offer a white label solution, we'll obviously offer people the option. They can use our label, so they can send emails with our sign house name and sending servers and etc. Or they might choose to add in their sending details and everything else, so it won't be one or the other.
Okay, then let's see here. And is there any iOS or Android app?
Yeah, great question. And the answer might be disappointing, but hear me out. We don't have any Android or iOS app. At the moment, we don't plan to build any Android or iOS app for the simple fact that we've built SignHouse from the ground up to be mobile first. So when we say mobile first, we actually mean it. We start from mobile and we expand into desktop. Most product that we've used, I'm not talking about other product makers. I'm talking about myself as a user here. When I've seen in the past the mobile first mentioned, what they actually meant was it was just an app that was made for desktop, and then it was turned into responsive. But we've seen part of the philosophy that I've explained at the beginning of this live stream, which is we want to build a product that people love. So we think we're in the era where people deserve to love the software product that they use, because it's not 2007 anymore. We're not building software just like we were doing in 2007. Because of that, we've had I mean, even the luxury of being able to build SignHouse in a mobile first way, because this is what a new company like ours can offer. We can have a foundation that is set to be more modern and more adapted to the future. But yeah, to get back to the question, we're not looking to build any Android or iOS app simply because SignHouse works flawlessly at the moment in mobile, and in mobile version, so on a browser. I suppose there is the philosophical aspect of discussing Apple and Google's vision for the long term with PWAs, with progressive web apps. Time will tell, but at the moment, we wouldn't see any major add-on other than feeling that you're opening an app instead of opening your browser. But I suppose now with progressive web apps, websites can be saved as apps. There's no specific add-on for our users to if we would do that. Sure, it would be a nice to have, the way I see it. If anyone is disagreeing, as I said, feel free to either leave a message here or message me directly. I'm happy to have a chat. But if we would do that, we would be sacrificing very valuable time, where I would rather use our team's technical efforts to build other features or other benefits that our lifetime deal buyers are very much looking forward to, such as, for example, the templates function we've been mentioning earlier, or maybe even a white labeling solution, because we've talked about this. But yeah, I hope that answers the question. As I said, it's my honest answer. It's a bit disappointing for some, maybe, and if it is disappointing for you, please do reach out to me and tell me if you disagree, because um, if I'm wrong, I want to know why I'm wrong. And as I said, we want to build SignHouse with our users and for our users. So this is my take. But obviously, if enough people have a valid reason for wanting an Android and iOS app, I'm not dogmatic with my opinions. So we'll just do whatever helps people the most.
Okay. So thanks so much for that question and for your answer. Yeah, it's a very detailed answer. And let me just check if I missed any question.
By the way, Omar, I just want to take a second to thank you as well for the patient for doing such a great job in the live stream. It just felt
Hey, thank
like a
you.
natural conversation. So yeah, I want to take a second to appreciate
I
your
told you,
efforts.
you don't have to be nervous. I'll look
Yeah,
after you. Okay, so
with a
yes,
host such as
so
you,
we
I can't be
covered
nervous.
everything.
Yeah.
So we covered everything. That's good. That's good. So now it's time for our giveaway. Okay, so let me hide your screen and let me share mine. Okay. So regarding the mobile question earlier, so one of our viewers, I think this, I couldn't see the name. So mobile responsiveness is enough, which, yeah, because really, if you need to put more resources on making it compatible with iOS, with
Android.
Google. Oh my God, that could be quite a lot of resource that you need
Yeah. And personally,
to.
my experience in my career, I have, and we still have with some of our companies, we have apps on both iOS and the Play Store. Sometimes it is warranted. Sometimes they have a purpose, but at this point, I think it would be resource management in the detriment of our users. Simply because I've been through that process and I've seen it. So yeah, but as I said, I'm still not dogmatic. So if anyone has any other opinion, I can see somebody else agreed that mobile responsiveness is enough. If anyone has a different opinion, I'm always happy to have a chat. And yeah,
Okay, so now let's start with our giveaway. I'll share my screen. Oh, by the way, we Daniel is very nice to give us a discount. 15% off on the plans that you've seen earlier, which is we have a hobby plan, a business plan. Uh, there are so many plans now. Before is you only have two. I don't have to memorize too many names.
I can
Okay.
just name you if you want.
Yeah. So okay. So let me just call on the names. I have here of those who participated in our giveaway. We have Abir, Alberto, Ankit, Dixit, Ankit Chaitli, Anuj, Araf, Asif, BL Samota, Dinesh, Isham Shuja, Inderjit, Interpret, JD, Joginder, Kevin, Mamta, Mary, Niru, Poonam, Pravash, Ranveer, Robert, Sean, Somashikar, Trevor, Tusar, and Evans. How do you pronounce that? I thought Eve, but it has an N. Okay. And my French is really bad. Okay, so let's not dwell on that. But let's
Don't worry about
see. Okay, so tonight we will have three winners. Let me see first. There are more messages. Okay. Personal question. From which country you are from?
Yeah, thanks for the question. Happy to share personal details if they're not too personal, but I guess this is fine. I live in the UK, in London, and my parents are European and Iranian, so I guess from all over the place. But yeah, sometimes I've had that is in the past on a personal level, people had a hard time spotting my accent, but I guess it's because it's just international, so just being exposed to multiple cultures. It depends why they were asking, but if it's because of the accent, that's why I was addressing the that specific bit.
Okay, great. And let's see. And here, okay, clients do not need to install a mobile app to sign. Actually, this is a good thing in a way because sometimes as I hate to install an app just for the sake of you know signing something, and I
Yeah,
will only use it once because I'm not really signing up all documents from the same company.
yeah,
So
correct.
yeah, so it's in a way, yes, it's true. You don't really need an Android and iOS for now.
Hmm.
Okay, and okay, I pronounce it right. Events. Got it.
Definitely.
Thanks for letting me know that I got it right. And SK is also there. Let me just add you, SK. Okay, I did already added you, SK. So let's start. So let's shuffle again. So I added MD Rana and SK Nayak. I missed their names. And now
All right, let's see.
let's start. Okay, congratulations. Our first winner is Niru.
Congrats to Nero.
And let me see, is Nero around? So Nero, can you please confirm that you are around? Thank you. And let's shuffle the next one. And yes, Nero is around. Thank you for confirming. And next one is HM.
Congrats.
Congratulations, HM. And please confirm that you are here with us. And our next winner, Sean. Congratulations, Sean.
All right, congrats to Sean as well.
Yeah, close. Yeah, it's a close me. So, where
Yeah.
is Sean? And I'm not seeing him yet. So HM is here. And where is Sean? Sean, are you there? Okay, calling once. Let me just check in YouTube. Okay, I don't see Sean. Sean, are you there? Okay, finally, I
Okay.
got him. So, everyone is here. Thanks so much for joining us today live. And remember, we have a 15% discount from SignHouse using the code NTT15. And I hope you liked our live stream today, and I hope that you found it helpful. And also, it helps you in making your decision on why you should get SignHouse. So, thanks so much, everyone, and thank you, Daniel. And I see you next week with QuickCart. So it's an e-commerce uh, tool that is an alternative to Shopify and ClickFunnels. So see you next week. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
Cheers, guys.
where is the 15% discount? It's on the bottom of the screen. NTT15. It's been there all along. Where is that? Okay, because this is the first thing that I've seen. Where is the 15% discount? It's here at the bottom of the screen. Check it out, check it out. Okay, we will make it go all the way there. There is the discount.
There you go. Yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations to
All right,
everyone.
thank you so much, and congratulations to all the winners. And do get Sign House. Bye. See you next week.
Congrats. Thank you for tuning in. Bye bye.